kunja bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava kunja bihari. Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari. Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari. Yasodanandana Braja Janaranjana. Yasodanandana Braja Janaranjana. Yamuna Tera Vanachari. Yamuna Tera Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava kunja bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava kunja bihari. Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Jaya Krishna Balaram. Jaya Radha Chama Sundar, Radha Chama Sundar Radhe. Jaya Gauranitai, 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 Jaya Gauranitai. Nitai Gaura Haribo, 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 Haribo. Nitai Gaura Haribo, 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 Haribo. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Jai Vishnupada Paramahansa Parivrajagacharya Ashtadarasada Sri Srimadeshi Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jai ISKCON Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada ki Jai Vishnupada Paramahansa Parivrajagacharya Ashtadarasada Sri Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Sarva Thakur Maharaj Srila Prabhupada ki Jai Ananta Kodi Vaishnava Vrinda ki Jai Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गौ गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की जय श्री वृंदावन मथुरा धाम की जय श्री मायापुर नवद्वीप धाम की जय श्री जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय गंगा देवी जमुना देवी की जय भक्ति देवी की जय श्रीमती तुलसी महारानी की जय श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय श्री प्रभुपाद ट्रांसजेंडरल बुक डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन की जय श्री श्री गौरनिताय की जय श्री श्री कृष्ण बलराम की जय श्री श्री राधा श्याम सुंदर लता देवी की जय समवेत भक्त वृंद की निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि। All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories always to Guru and Gauranga. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Om Namah Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namah Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namah Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam namaskritya Naram chaiva narottamam Devim saraswatim vyasam Tato jayamudire Nashta prayeshu avadresu Nityam Bhagavata sevaya Bhagavati uttama sloke Bhaktir bhavati naistike Mukhaṁ karati vācālaṁ pangulam nete girim Yat kripatamaham vande Sri Gurum Dīnatarim Sri Paramananda Madhavam. So today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto, chapter 44, text from 8 to 13th. The name of this chapter is The Killing of Kansa. So I will just first read the verses and translation from 8 to 12. then 13th we will all repeat. Text 8. Ko vajra-sāra-sarvāṅgau mallau śailendra-sannibhau ko cāti-sukumārāṅgau kiśorau nāpta-yauvanau. Translation. What comparison can there be between these two professional wrestlers with limbs as strong as lightning bolts and bodies resembling mighty mountains, and these two young immature boys with exceedingly tender limbs? Text 9. Dharma vyatikramo hi asya samājasya dhruvang bhavet yatra dharma samutishten nāste-yang tatra kairici. Translation. Religious principles have certainly been violated in this assembly. One should not remain for even a moment in a place where irreligion is flourishing. Text 10. Na savang praviset prajna sabhya dosan anusmaran abruvan vibruvan agyam nara kilvi sangasnute. Translation. A wise person should not enter an assembly if he knows the participants there are committing acts of impropriety. And if, having entered such an assembly, he fails to speak the truth, speaks falsely, or pleads ignorance, he will certainly incur sin. Text 11. Balgata satrung abhitaha Krishnasya vadanam bhujam Bhikshatang sramavari uptam Padma kosang ibambubhi. Translation. Just see the lotus face of Krishna as he darts around his foe. That face, covered with drops of perspiration brought on by strenuous fight, resembles a lotus covered with dew. Text 12. Kingna pasyata ramasya mukhang atamralochanam mustikang pratisang samarsam hasa sambhravasobhitam. Translation. Don't you see the face of Lord Balaram with its eyes copper red from his anger towards Mustika, and its beauty enhanced by his laughter and his absorption in the fight? Text 13. Punyabhata brajabhuvo yadayang nirlanga Punyabhata brajabhuvo yadayang nirlinga Gudha Purana Puruso Vanachitra Malya Gudha Purana Puruso Vanachitra Malya गापालयन् सावलकुणयंश्च वेणुं विक्रीडयन् चतिगिरित्र रमार्चितङ्घ्रि पुण्यावत व्रजभुवो यदयं नृलिङ्ग गूढपुराणपुरुषो वनचित्रमल्य गापालयन् सावलकुणयंश्च वेणुं विक्रीडयन् चतिगिरित्र रमार्चितङ्घ्रि पुण्यावत व्रजभुवो यदयं नृलिङ्ग गूढपुराणपुरुषो वनचित्रमल्यः गापालयन् सावलकुणयंश्च वेणुं विक्रीडयन् चतिगिरित्र रमार्चितङ्घ्रि पुण्यावत व्रजभुवो यदयं नृलिङ्ग गूढपुराणपुरुषो वनचित्रमल्य गापालयन् सावलकुणयंश्च वेणुं विक्रीडयन् चतिगिरित्र रमार्चितङ्घ्रि पुण्यावत व्रजभुवो यदयं नृलिङ्ग गूढपुराणपुरुषो वनचित्रमल्य गापालयन् सावलकुणयंश्च वेणुं क्रीडयन् चतिगिरित्र रमार्चितङ्घ्रि पुण्यावत व्रजभुवो यदयं नृलिङ्ग गूढपुराणपुरुषो वनचित्रमल्य गापालयन् सावलकुणयंश्च वेणुं क्रीडयन् चतिगिरित्र रमार्चितङ्घ्रि माताजी पुण्यावत व्रजभुवो यदयं नृलिङ्ग गूढपुराणपुरुषो वनचित्रमल्य गापालयन् सावलकुणयंश्च वेणुं क्रीडयन् चतिगिरित्र रमार्चितङ्घ्रि पुण्यावत व्रजभुवो यदयं नृलिङ्ग गूढपुराणपुरुषो वनचित्रमल्य गापालयन् सावलकुणयंश्च वेणुं क्रीडयन् चतिगिरित्र रमार्चितङ्घ्रि पुण्यः pious, bata, indeed, Brajabhuva, the various regions of the land of Braja, Yat, in which I am, this, Nru, human, Linga, by characteristics, Gudha, disguise, Purana Purusa, the primeval personality of Godhead, Bana, composed of flowers and other items of the forest, Chitra, of wonderful variety, Mallau, whose garlands, Gaha, the cows, Palayan, herding, Shaha, together with Bala, Lord Balaram, Kwanayan, vibrating, Cha, and Venum, his flute, Bikridaya, with various pastimes, Anchati, he moves about, Giritra, by Lord Shiva, Rama, and the goddess of fortune, Archita, worshipped, Angri, his feet. Translation. How pious are the tracts of land in Vraja, for there the primeval personality of Godhead, disguising himself with human traits, wanders about, enacting his many pastimes. Adorned with wonderfully variegated forest garlands, he whose feet are worshipped by Lord Shiva and Goddess Rama vibrates his flute as he tends the cows in the company of Balaram. Purport. In this verse, the devoted ladies in the audience point out the difference between Mathura and Vrindavan. They want to indicate that in Vrindavan, Krishna simply enjoys with his girlfriends and boyfriends, whereas here in Mathura, the Lord is subjected to harassment by the bullying tactics of professional wrestlers. Thus, the ladies are condemning the city of Mathura because of their pain at seeing Krishna in what they consider an unfair wrestling match. Of course, Mathura is also one of the Lord's eternal abodes. But here the women in the assembly express their love in a critical mood. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana-Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Padantikam Bandeham Shri Guru Sri Tapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavansya Shri Rupan Shagrajatam Shagana Raghunatha Nitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Saganalita Shri Visakha Nitam Sa He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishavanasate Devi Pranamami Hari Priya Vanchakalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhu Bhevacha Patitanang Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Desatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. So, here in these verses of Srimad Bhagavatam, the feelings of the Mathura ladies who are sitting in the audience of the wrestling arena, they were expressing their feelings. So they say that this match, as we know, Krishna and Balaram, they have already entered into the wrestling arena, and as was arranged previously by Kansa, the wrestlers headed by Chanura and Mustika, they have already challenged Krishna and Balaram to wrestle with them. And Krishna and Balaram, initially, they told Chanura that you are all very big, strong and stout wrestlers, and we are young boys, so this will not be a good match for wrestling. If you want to wrestle, then you should wrestle with those who are befitting wrestlers, who can wrestle with you. So you should wrestle with them, not with us. So then Chanura said, no, we know that you, though you are looking very young, but we know that you have killed so many demons in Braja. Even from your very childhood, you have killed so many demons. So the king is very much desirous to see that how much strength you have. So by wrestling with us, you can show your strength to the king. And in that way, you can please him. Because this is the duty of all the subjects, to please the king. So whatever king wants, we are supposed to do that. So now the King Kansa wants us to wrestle with both of you. And by this wrestling, by seeing this wrestling, he will be very happy. And he will bestow mercy on you. So then when Chanura told like this, so then Krishna and Balaram agreed, okay, this is our duty, though we are living in the forest. We are forest dwellers. This is our duty to please our king and get his mercy. So saying this, Krishna and Balaram, they were ready to wrestle with Chanura and Mustika. So Chanura invited Krishna to wrestle with him, and he told Balaram can wrestle with Mustika. So Chanura decided this thing, who will wrestle with who. So Krishna and Balaram accepted their challenge, and they are wrestling. And all those inhabitants of Mathura and the inhabitants of nearby districts who had come to see this wrestling match, they were all sitting in the galleries. And the Mathura ladies, those who had developed love for Krishna and Balaram. So specifically, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says that the Brahmins' wives, they were already in love with Krishna, because we all know that how Krishna had sent the cowherd boys to get some food, and these Brahmin ladies, instead of sending the food, they themselves brought all those foodstuffs, 4 kinds of foodstuffs, and personally offered to Krishna. And they were so much enamored and seeing Krishna's beauty that they stood motionlessly and they took the form of Krishna through their eyes and took them into their hearts and embraced him. So they were completely attracted by Krishna, and they did not want to leave his company. They wanted to stay in the forest, so they would be able to see Krishna all the time. But Krishna, some or other, sent them back, giving them solace that their husbands would not be inimical to them, and they can remain his devotees by always remembering him. So here in the gallery, maybe some Brahmins' wives are there, or other similar ladies who had similar feelings like them towards Krishna. They were all there sitting. So when they saw that Krishna and Balaram, they are very young, not even attained the age of 11, they are 10 years, 7 months, and they had gone to Mathura. So they are in the beginning of their kiśorau age, not even attained youthhood, and they are now going to wrestle with these 2 big wrestlers, which was not very compatible and not fair. That's why they are comparing the wrestlers with Krishna and Balaram. So they are telling that these 2 wrestlers, you see, they are practically pointing their fingers towards wrestlers and Krishna and Balaram. And they are in groups, they are discussing among them. That means they have left their seats, they have gathered somewhere in the gallery and discussing this thing. So, they are telling that you see these wrestlers, their body is just like vajra, thunderbolt. And we know thunderbolt, how strong it is. A thunderbolt can smash the mountains. So, the ladies are telling these two wrestlers, their bodies are like thunderbolts, very strong. And then, śailendra-sannibhau, and they are looking like big mountains. Their body is strong and big, heavy, just like mountains. And you see these two boys, they have very soft limbs. They are young boys with soft limbs. And kiśorau, nāpta-yauvanau. They are in kiśorau age. Actually, they are beginning their kiśorau age. After 10, kiśorau age starts. So they are beginning their kiśorau age, āpta-yauvanau. And till now, they have not even attained their youth. And now, these wrestlers want to fight with them, these young boys. So this is not a very good match. And after all, these ladies, since they have developed love for Krishna, so naturally they have developed compassion. Compassion towards them. This is actually karuna rasa. With madhurya there is karuna rasa. Because Krishna is their lovable object. So any harm to him is not tolerable by these ladies. So they are anticipating that these wrestlers may do some harm to the body of Krishna and Balaram. That's why they were feeling so concerned. Because when something happens to our lovable object, then we become too much concerned and get pain and in anxiety. So these ladies are in great anxiety. What will happen to Krishna and Balaram? So these wrestlers, they are so strong and they are going to fight with them. And they are fighting with them. Dharma vyatikramo hi asya samajasya dhruvam bhavet. Since they could not do anything, because they were ladies, but they have so much love for Krishna and Balaram, and they saw in front of their eyes this injustice is happening. These wrestlers are fighting with Krishna and Balaram. So they consider this is injustice. This is not proper. That so big and strong wrestlers are fighting with two young boys. So this is not proper. This is injustice. Yatra adharma samutishta nāpta-yauvanau tatra kahirchit. So they are discussing and they are telling to one another that this match is not proper, and we think that religion has already entered into this assembly. Because in this assembly, the king is already sitting there, and his subjects are sitting there, and in front of the king and all of his subjects, this injustice is happening. And no one is raising his voice. No one is telling anything. That means they are all supporting this injustice. So they concluded that dharma vyatikrama dhruva. Surely this injustice has entered into this assembly, and this is the duty of a religious person who is following the religious principles. So what is his duty in such a situation where irreligion is taking place in front of his eyes? Yatra adharma samutishta nāpta-yauvanau tatra kahirichit. So the first duty of a religious person is that if he cannot do anything, then he should immediately leave that place. He should not stay there and see this injustice happening in front of his eyes. And if one does so, then he will also incur sin. Because he is a spectator of injustice and he is not opposing. So the duty of a religious person is to oppose injustice, otherwise leave that place. So the women of Mathura, so they know what is justice and injustice. So they are concluding this, which is according to scriptures also. And because they are attracted to Krishna and Balaram and feeling compassion towards them, so when they told this thing, that now irreligion has entered into this assembly and one should not stay in this assembly when in front of the eyes this injustice was taking place. So, saying this, these ladies left. They did not stay there because they concluded that this is injustice and we cannot do anything, so better we should leave this place. So they left. So they did their duty. So then again next verse, na sabhaṃ praviset prajñā sabhya dosan anusmaran. So this is another group of ladies. One group of ladies, those who are talking this thing in the previous verse, they said that one should not stay, so they left. Then another group of ladies, they are also discussing the same thing. So they are telling, na sabhaṃ praviset prajñā sabhya dosan anusmaran. So they are telling a wise person should not enter an assembly where the participants are committing injustice, irreligion. One should not enter into that assembly. First thing, na praviset prajñā. One should enter into that type of assembly. Don't go there. Or if one goes there, perhaps one does not know that irreligion is happening in this assembly, and he enters into that assembly, stays there, and then he hears and he sees what is happening in the assembly. And when he sees that injustice is happening there in that assembly, then what is the duty of a wise person? If he does not say anything, abruvar. Otherwise, if he says something, but he says wrong things. Or supports them. supports the injustice. Say wrong thing or supports injustice. Or third alternative is agya. Or he pleads innocence. Oh, I don't know what is happening. I am not concerned. So he keeps silence in that assembly. And he sees all this injustice is happening. Then what happened? Kilvisang asnute. That one will also incur sin with all of those persons who are committing injustice or irreligion in that assembly. So, these ladies, though they concluded this, but they did not leave the assembly. They are still discussing. Balgatah satru avhita krishnasya vadanam bhujam. So they are watching. They are watching how Krishna and Balaram were fighting with Chanura and Mustika. So then they saw Krishna and Balaram's face. So here Krishna, description of Krishna is there in this verse. So they saw Krishna's face because they have developed love for Krishna within their hearts. So they were watching Krishna's face when he was fighting with Chanura. And then they saw that while fighting, Krishna's face, Krishna's face was decorated with the drops of perspiration. And perspiration will come when we will work very hard. That means Krishna was fighting with Chanura with his full strength. And because of fatigue, this perspiration was appearing in his face. So they concluded that because Krishna is fatigued, that's why this perspiration has appeared. And then Vikhyatang Sramavari Uptam Padvam Kosa Iva Ambhuvi. And then they are comparing Krishna's face like a lotus flower. So generally Krishna's face is compared to a lotus flower. That means lotus flower is very beautiful to look at. So Krishna's face is very beautiful to look at. At the same time, lotus flower is very cool. It has cooling effect. So Krishna's face has also a cooling effect. So anyone who will look towards the beautiful face of Krishna, all of his material anxieties will disappear. He will remain cool. He will forget his anxieties. So Krishna's face can drive away also the burning sensation or the anxieties of this material world. and give peace, give solace to the onlooker. So here, these ladies, they see Krishna's face as a lotus covered with dew. So Krishna's face was covered with perspiration, drops of perspiration. So they are comparing Krishna's face with a lotus covered with dew. And then they are also looking towards Balaram. Kina pasyata ramasya mukham atamralochanam. Then the ladies are telling, don't you see Lord Balaram's face? And his eyes has become copper red. So Balaram's eyes have become copper red. Why? Because he was angry. When one becomes angry, then the eyes becomes red. So Balaram's eyes have become copper red. Why? Because Balaram was angry on Mustika. Because Mustika has hit Balaram with his fist. So Balaram has become very angry on him. That's why his eyes have become copper red. So, sarambha sobitam, hasa samarsam sobitam. So, Balaram, though eyes have become copper red with anger towards Mustika, but then he has also taken the challenge of Mustika. Mustika has hit him with his fist. So Balaram has started laughing. Means ridiculing his onslaught. Means he did not care Mustika's onslaught. That's why he started laughing. And then he started fighting with Mustika. So the ladies, they are watching Balaram's fighting also at the same time. So they are also appreciating the beauty of Lord Balaram's face. And then the current verse. Punnavata brajabhuma yadayang nirlinga gudha purana purusa banachitra malya. And these Mathura ladies, now they are praising the great fortune of the land of Braja and the people of Braja. So they are telling Punnavata Brajabhuva, this land of Braja is very pious land. And why the land of Braja has become very pious? Because Nrulinga Gudha Purana Purusa Banachitra Malya. The primeval Lord, the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna, who is Purana Purusa, Adi Purusa, the origin of everything. So he has appeared in this land of Braja, taking human form, Nrulinga. So, taking human form, then what is his activity? Now he has dressed himself in forest flowers. So Lord Krishna Balaram and all the cowherd boys, when they go to the forest, they pick up flowers of different kinds. They make garlands and put garlands on their body. So we know that what is the name of Krishna's garland? Vaijayanti Mala. So this Vaijayanti Mala is consisting of 5 different kinds of flowers. So these 5 different kinds of flowers plucked in the forest and made into garland. That becomes Vaijayanti Mala. And Krishna wears that. So, Vana Chitra Mala. And Krishna is wearing this garland made of forest flowers. Means fresh flowers, not market flowers. Nowadays we go to the market, we get market flowers 3 days old, 4 days old, who knows, and so much chemicals in it. But Krishna was wearing these garlands with fresh flowers, scented flowers. And they are of different varieties, different colors of these 5 different flowers of different colors. So it was looking very beautiful. So these ladies, they are actually glorifying Krishna's garland. Glorifying the Brajabhumi, then his garland, then Ga Palayan Sahavala Konayasya Venu. And then when Krishna goes to the forest with Balaram and cowherd boys, what do they do? They only graze the cows and calves. This is their duty in the forest. And then Krishna does a specific thing while herding the cows in the forest. Konayancha Venum. Krishna plays his flute. And Krishna's flute playing has different intentions also. So when Krishna would play his flute while gathering his cows to come back to Braja in the evening, he would play his flute. And when he would play his flute, then all these cows and calves who had different names, Krishna had given them. So they would hear their names only. Each cow would hear his name through the flute playing. So the cow would know that Krishna is now calling. So they would all come back to Krishna. Gather in one place, then Krishna would take them back. And another intention of Krishna's flute playing is to attract the gopis' attention. So when Krishna plays his flute, then the gopis hear in the village, and they become attracted towards Krishna and remember Krishna in the forest. And we see in Bhagavatam how gopis are praising Krishna's flute. Whole chapter is there. So, in that way, Krishna actually reciprocates with his loving devotees. So here, the women of Mathura, they are also praising Krishna's flute. And then Bikridayantaji Giritra Architangri. And they are telling that the same Krishna who is tending the cows in the forest and playing the flute in the company of Balaram and wandering in the forest barefoot. Krishna was walking barefoot. That was the greatest mercy of Krishna. Because Krishna was walking and barefoot, that's why now we can see Krishna's footprints in different locations of Brazil. If Krishna would have kept some shoes, then we would have not get his footprints. That's why the Vaikuntha Vasis, they don't get footprints of Lord Vishnu or Narayan. Narayan always wears shoes. The Brajvasis are very, very fortunate that they can see Krishna's footprints, touch Krishna's footprints, take the dust of Krishna's footprints, roll in the footprints of Krishna, like Akrura did. So that is the mercy Krishna has left for the inhabitants of Braja by walking in Braja barefoot, leaving his footprints. So, and those footprints, these same lotus feet of Krishna is being worshipped by the greatest devotees, like Rama, Lakshmi Devi, the Lord's consort. She is worshipping the lotus feet of Krishna. And the greatest Vaishnava, Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva is also worshipping the same lotus feet of Krishna. And the same lotus feet which are worshipped by Shiva and Lakshmi is walking barefoot in the land of Braja. So the ladies of Mathura, they are actually praising this Brajabhumi and the inhabitants of Brajabhumi. How fortunate they are by getting Krishna's association. And in other way, they are actually blaspheming Mathura. Though they are from Mathura, and generally people glorify their own land, but the women of Mathura, because they have developed love for Krishna, that's why they see that how Krishna is, Balaram, they are treated here in Mathura. They are being harassed by these wrestlers. Whereas Krishna and Balaram's feet are worshipped by Lord Shiva and Ramadevi, Lakshmi. And the same lotus feet is wandering throughout Brajabhumi. How fortunate is Brajabhumi, and how unfortunate this land of Mathura, where Krishna and Balaram have to undergo so much tribulations. And they are now being arranged to be killed by the king. So that shows their love for Krishna and Balaram. The ladies of Mathura, they are so much love for Krishna that they are deriding the land of Mathura. Though Mathura is also part of Brajabhumi. But still, we can see their feeling that how much they love Krishna. And any harm to one's lovable object is not tolerable by the lover. This is their natural tendency. So here we see that the ladies, they are exhibiting their extreme love for Krishna by deriding Mathura and praising Vrindavan. Hare Krishna. So any comments or questions? Yeah.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Maharaj, for
Hare
the
Krishna.
wonderful class. My question is relating to the injustice that we were saying that some women in the assembly, when they saw that this is an injustice, and for the wise people, when they see that some places injustice happening, then they have to leave that assembly. So the other ladies who were just talking about the injustice and they remained in the assembly, since they were very fortunate because they saw the lotus face of Krishna, they saw the, and they would take darshan about Krishna, whereas those who were a bit more intelligent, they left and they were deprived of seeing Lord in this sense. So could you please comment on that? Suppose some acts, this is related to the, for example, in some places that religious activities is taking place, so then we have to consider that we shouldn't leave that place because then we will be deprived of seeing Lord. Or could I explain my question rightly? I don't know. Is it meaningful to you? Because what I mean to say is that suppose if I think that there is an injustice happening here when I should leave, then I will not be able to see lotus face of Lord Krishna, for example.
Yeah.
So that is my question.
Actually, same thing happened. The first group of ladies, when they considered this is injustice happening to Krishna, and a wise man should not stay there, leave the assembly where injustice is happening. So immediately they left. But the second group of ladies, they could not leave. Though they know that injustice is happening, but they still could not leave that place seeing the beautiful face of Krishna. So that is another way their love for Krishna was so great. They could not follow these rules. So they stayed, they did not leave.
So the conclusion is that we have to stay when there is injustice.
But they are expressing their opinion that this injustice is happening. They are speaking out. But they could not leave because Krishna was there and they are fond of Krishna's beauty. Hare Krishna. Okay, another. Can you use mic?
Thank you. Maharaj, you mentioned that it is one's natural tendency to be disturbed when the most lovable object comes into harm.
Yeah.
So my most lovable object is my false ego, and when we are in the association of devotees, and when we are serving in the association of devotees, a lot of harm comes to the false ego. Especially when you are in when you are in a position where where devotees are coming to you for service and like that. So how do you deal with such a situation?
You told, no? Your lovable object is false ego. And when it is hurt, you are very concerned. You are in anxiety.
So how do we deal with that?
So better love Krishna and be in anxiety for Krishna. Give up your false ego. Hare Krishna. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki